Good morning, student. As you know that we have already discussed queuing or waiting line analysis in the previous video also. So here I want to revise the complete unit once again by giving the different dimensions on this queuing and waiting line analysis. So basically, in service industry or in the service business, queuing plays a very important role because whenever we are giving service to the customer, they will always come to your place to take the service, and in that case, queue is the formation of queue is there. So basically, queue uh, explains that your business is in demand, but it at the same point of time it also dissatisfied the customer if the queue is long, and that is why it becomes very mandatory for a business person to manage the waiting line, and management is possible only if you have analyzed the waiting line properly. So here queues or waiting lines affects people every day, because you have seen at many places like railway station, people are standing in a queue to get the tickets, and when we go to mall, we see for to watch the movies, we see the different queues for getting the ticket. So it is every day. Most of the customers face this queuing system. A primary goal is finding the best level of service. Analytical modeling can be used for many queues. Now, with the help of analytical modeling, by using some formulas, the we can or the business person can check what is the minimum waiting time which will not dissatisfy the customer. For more complex situations, computer simulation is needed. So nowadays people are using simulations to handle the queues, because if any customer leaves the queue, that means you are losing the business. So we have to analyze the waiting line properly so that it can uh, we can make certain arrangements to satisfy the customers who are in the system and in the waiting line. Queuing system cost. Every queue has a cost, because whenever we increases the number of outlets of servicing to the customers, it has a big cost which will directly affect to the cost of the service. Cost of providing service is there. Cost of not providing service is also very important, and this is the reason we should analyze the waiting line, because it depends on the waiting time. If the waiting time is more, and then the customer will leave the service, and that means he is not getting the service from you, so it will also have cost, which can be very well explained by the graph which you can see here. On the x-axis there is a service level, and y-axis cost of operating service facility, and we should try to determine the optimal service level so that the cost is minimum for the service, which helps the buyer to get the service at the minimum possible cost, and which also supports the seller or the service provider by not losing the customers because of the waiting time. So here you can see three lines. The cost of providing service is linearly going upward when we increases the service level, and the cost of waiting time reduces when we increases the service level, and total expected cost is also uh, parabolic. It is a non-linear curve which you can see here. So we have to determine the optimal service level at which both customer and the service provider is in the win-win situation. Let's take 3 reverse shipping examples. Average of 5 ships arrive per 12-hour shift. This is the average. A team of stevedores unloads each ship. Each team of stevedores cost $6,000 per shift. The cost of keeping a ship waiting is $1,000 per hour. Now, how many teams of stevedores to employ to minimize system cost? Now, here you can see there is an average of 5 ships which arrives every 12 hours. Now, you can do either you can increase the stevedores who unloads the ship, but it has a cost, and this cost is 6,000 per shift. And if you do not increase, or if you reduce the stevedores, then ship will wait, and the waiting cost is 1,000 per hour. So now we have to determine how many teams of stevedores to employ to minimize system cost. This example will clear that increasing the service providers will also have the cost, but if you are not increasing the service provider, then also a business has to bear a cost. But we have to do the trade-off between these two and reach to the optimal solution so that the cost can be minimized. Now, 3 reverse baiting line cost analysis. Friends, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 are the number of teams of stevedores. There are 4 stevedores. Waiting per ship is given 7, 4, 3, 2. If you are keeping 1, then waiting per ship is 7, then 4, 3 and 2. Cost of ship waiting time is as per shift is $35,000, and if it is for 2 teams, it is $20,000, $15,000 and $10,000. Stevedores cost is also given over there, because for 1 team it is 6,000, for 2 teams it is 12,000, for 3 teams it is 18,000, and 4 teams it is 24,000, because it is given in the problem 6,000 per team. So the total cost here is 35,000 for waiting and 6,000 for stevedores cost. Adding both, we will get the total cost is 41,000 for 1 team if we keep 1 team, $32,000 if we keep 2 teams, 33,000 if we keep 3 teams, and 34,000 if we keep 4 teams. So now out of the these 4 costs, we can see by looking at these numbers or observation method, we can say that the keeping 2 team is better, because it is giving us the minimum cost, that is equals to 32,000. So characteristic of a queuing system. Now let us talk about the characteristic of a queuing system. The queuing system is determined by arrival characteristics. That means how the people are arriving to the system to take the service. queue characteristic. There are certain characteristics of the queues also, and service facility characteristic. These are the three important dimensions which we must look, so that the arrival characteristics and queue characteristic and service facility characteristics will help us in determining the queuing system, because it varies for different types of services. And if it varies, accordingly we have to select the formula, so that we can determine the optimum level at which the cost of providing service is minimum, and there is a very less cost of losing the customers. Now let's talk about the arrival characteristic. The first thing which affects the queue system is the size of the arrival population, either infinite or limited or finite. Students, here we must consider that from where the customers are coming, whether it is a finite service or infinite number of people or a limited number of people. So the population size will tell you what kind of service facility you must arrange. Arrival distribution should also be taken care of, either fixed or random. If there is a fixed arrival system, then the queuing system will be more easy. If it is random, then it becomes little bit complex, and we have to handle it differently, either measured by time between consecutive arrivals or arrival rate. The Poisson distribution is often used for random arrivals. That is the most important distribution. So we believe that the most of the businesses are basically handling the people who come, who are random, who arrives randomly. So we believe we will use the Poisson distribution in that. So now what is the Poisson distribution? Average arrival rate is known. We know the average arrival rate. In this, average arrival rate is constant for some number of time period, right? So these are the characteristics of Poisson distribution. Number of arrivals in each time period is independent, right? As the time interval approaches 0, the average number of arrivals approaches 0. So it also depends, as the time interval approaches 0, the average number of arrival also approaches 0. So these are the main characteristics of Poisson distribution. Now let's talk about the Poisson distribution formula. So lambda is the average arrival rate per unit time. We know that we actually denote lambda for arrival rate per unit time, and px is the probability of exactly x arrivals occurring during one time period. So it is the probability of exactly x number of arrivals occurring during one time period. So the formula for Poisson distribution is px is equals to e minus lambda to the power x divided by factorial x. So e to the power minus lambda and lambda to the power x divided by factorial x. Now, behavior of arrivals. Most queuing formula assumes that all arrivals stay until service is completed. So friends, we must understand this properly. In behavior of arrivals, most queuing formula assumes that all arrivals stay until service is completed. That means no people will leave the system until and unless service is not completed. Balking refers to customers who do not join the queue. That means the people who do not join the queue, simply by looking at the length of the queue, they do not join the queue. Reneging refers to the customer who join the queue but give up and leave before completing service. So these are the basically two behaviors. Sometimes you might have experienced that the people come and join the queue, but when the queue moves slowly, or when the time taken by the people in front of him or in the queue is more, then the customer leaves and joins another system before completing the service. So these are the two important things which we must understand about the arrivals. Now, second is the queue characteristic. Queue length. Maximum possible queue length, either limited or unlimited, right? Queue length is maximum possible. It can be limited or unlimited depending on the service provider. Service discipline is usually FIFO, first in, first out. We believe that most of the time the queues are handled by FIFO system. So the people who arrives first will get the service first, and he will get out of the system after receiving the service or the completing the service from the provider. So this is something very important about the queue characteristic. Now, after knowing the arrival characteristic or queue characteristic, let's talk about the service facility characteristics, or what is more important in the service facility. Configuration of service facility is more important. Number of servers, how many servers or channels you have, how many servers are giving service to the people, and number of phases or service stops. How many phases are there? Whether service is provided in one phase, that means the customer comes, joins the queue, and when he reaches to the service provider, he takes the service in one phase, or sometimes it also happens that he takes the service in many phases. So car wash is an example of many phases, because car, when enters to the service provider, he washes it, he cleans it, then he service the engine of the car. So this is basically a part of many phases, number of phases. And one phase means when the customer go directly and take the service and get out of the system. That is the single phase. Then comes the service distribution. The time it takes to serve one arrival can be fixed or random. It can be fixed, it can be random. Exponential distribution is often used, right? In this, we generally used exponential distribution. Now, what is exponential distribution? Mu is equals to average service time, right? So you know the lambda is the arrival rate, and here mu is the service rate. So it is the time within which a single person is being served, average service rate. T is the length of the service time. So T is greater than or equals to 0. It is always greater than or equals to 0. So probability of T, probability that service time will be greater than T, is basically given by the formula Pt is equals to e to the power minus ut. Now let's understand how to measure queue performance, right? So rho here, the symbol like P, you can see we call it a rho. Rho is equals to utilization factor. So probability of all servers being busy. Basically rho indicates that what is the probability that the server is busy. Here LQ is the average number in the queue. So average number of people in the queue, average number of buyer or customer in a queue. L is average number in the system. So Q means when we add a suffix to it, we see LQ becomes the average number in the queue, and L is average number in the system. So here student, you must understand that the L, there are some people who are standing in a queue, or depending on the servers, there will be some people or a single person who is basically taking the service. He is not considered under the queue or in the queue. So the person who is getting service or being served is not counted in the queue. WQ is the average waiting time, which is the time of waiting in the queue. W is the average time in the system. It is the total time taken by the person after entering to the joining a queue to exiting out of the system. P0 is equals to probability of 0 customers in the system. Pn is probability of exactly n customers in the system. Kendall's notations are also used, A, B and S. So A is arrival distribution, M for Poisson, D for deterministic and G for general. B is service time distribution, M for exponential, D for deterministic and G for general. S is number of servers. These are the notations given by the Kendall. Now the queuing models covered here all assumes arrival follow the Poisson distribution. There are certain assumptions in the queuing model. So whatever models we are available here, you can see that they are based on certain assumptions, and these assumptions are arrival follow the Poisson distribution, one assumption. We believe that arrival of the customer is following the Poisson distribution, and the service is based on the discipline called FIFO. That means first in, first out. So the person who enters the system first will go out of the system first. There will be a single phase, unlimited queue length. So there is no limitation, like we don't say that after 10 people we will not allow anybody to join the queue. Steady state conditions. We will look at 5 of the most commonly used queuing system, right? So these are certain things which you must keep in mind, because it is something which basically are assumed in the queuing theory, or the formulas used in the queuing theory. So now Kendall notation में simple system is M1, customer service desk in a store. So MM1, right? So multiple server, MMS. S is basically the server, multiple server. Here friends, you can see understand this from this. M is for Poisson, M for exponent. If you are talking about the arrival distribution, then M denotes the Poisson. D for determinant. So M and then 1. So M for Poisson distribution, exponential service distribution, time distribution, and 1 means a one phase, single phase here. So M, first M is for this arrival, second M is for distribution, service, and third number is basically the phase. So in multiple server, MMS, more number of phases. Constant service, in constant service we will take MD1. So arrival is again Poisson, but the service time distribution is deterministic, that denotes by D. 1 is single phase. So automated car wash is basically a single phase. Auto repair shop is basically is for general, right? So but and limited population is MMS infinite oblique N. So these are the few notations which you must keep in mind, and we have to understand that which problem is falling under which notation. So single server queuing system, that is called MM1. Poisson arrival, as I told you, first M will tell you that it is a Poisson arrival. Arrival population is unlimited. Exponential service time, because m is second m basically gives you the service time, and all arrivals wait to be served. Lambda is constant. Mu is greater than lambda. Here mu is greater than lambda. Mu is basically, lambda is the arrival average arrival time, and mu is service time as it is given in this. Mu is average service time. So we also believe the average service rate is greater than average arrival rate, right? Now let's look at certain formula of MM1Q. Average server utilization is basically determined by the formula rho is equals to lambda upon mu. Average number of customers waiting is LQ is equals to lambda square mu minus lambda. Average number in system is given by the formula L is equals to LQ plus lambda upon mu. So friends, these are certain formulas which are directly applicable to the problem. So if you are supposed to determine these lambda and mu, once you have lambda and mu, then you can calculate rho, and you can also calculate LQ and L. Average waiting time is the having the formula LQ upon lambda, so is equals to lambda upon mu into mu minus lambda. This is the time when you are asked to calculate the average waiting time. Average time in the system, it is the total time in the queue plus the service time. So W is equals to WQ. WQ is the total time taken by the person waiting in a line or queue, and 1 upon mu is basically the service time. Probability of zero customers in the system is determined by P0 is equals to 1 minus lambda upon mu. Probability of exactly n customers in the system is determined by Pn is equals to lambda upon mu to the power n, and P0, which is the probability of zero customers in the system. So these formulas must be remembered so that we can calculate questions. Let's take one example, Arnold's muffler shop example. The customer arrive on average 2 per hour. That means this is lambda. Every hour 2 customers arrive in the system. This is what is called lambda. So lambda is equals to 2 per hour. Average service time is 20 minutes. So in mu is equals to 3 per hour, because every 20 minutes they are serving the person. So they can serve in 1 hour, they can serve 3 persons or 3 customers. So now you know the value of lambda and mu. Now you can calculate the various questions or the 7 problems which are given here. For example, rho can be calculated by lambda upon mu. So apply these formulas and calculate all the values for this question. So if you find any problem in solving it, then you can come and ask to me. The total cost of queuing system we will discuss in the next video.